it says God is not a man. Aren't you thankful for that? So guess what? He can't lie. God doesn't lie. He only ever tells the truth. Aren't you thankful for that? Unlike a lot of politicians out there. Any football watchers yesterday think, I'm just tired of these stupid political ads. Not one of them is truthful. If they would just speak the truth, right? So God's not human, so he does not change his mind. Has he ever spoken and failed to act? Has he ever promised and not carried it out? Now this is as we get ready to transition from this room down to the new space. I want you to keep that in mind, that whatever you're dealing with in your life, come on, whatever you're facing, let the tabernacle be a symbol to you that God does not lie. I remember when we first, okay, so backstory here. When we first were getting ready, well, when we were in this space from the beginning of the church. We actually had started in a small bay. Camilla Blackburn goes back far enough to remember that. And here we were in this 3,800 square foot space with ugly blue carpet. You've heard about that. We didn't even actually know we were going to have chairs the first Sunday, folks. Somebody bought like 40 or 50 chairs at Sam's Club the first day. We thought everybody was going to be a bring-your-own-chair church. And anyway, but we continued to expand. So when we really knew that we were going to purchase the building, the previous owner said, you know, you guys have left a pretty big hole in that building. If you ever left and went somewhere else, we don't know how we could revert it back to being a storefront and even make it rentable again. So would you buy the building? And that's when you've heard Pastor share, the Lord said, buy this building. But what we did was we felt like, with, good advice, make war. We went to our architect at that time. The architect that we're using, Pastor Shane found out of Kansas City, Mantil Teeter. You have seen them. And we said, tell you what, how can we expand in this building? If we're going to buy it, we need to know that we can grow past this room, right? Like what part of this building is going to be bigger than what's right here? And so we looked at what used to be, now where the Tabernacle is now. Some of you go back to remember it was the Millard 4 theaters. How many of you, some of you are shaking your heads. Raise your hand if you remember when it was the Millard 4. It's not a sin, but did you go see a movie in the Millard 4? Anybody go see a movie in there? I did, I know. Before I was against Disney, I went to see Beauty and the Beast. So friends of ours took Pastor Christy and I think, and we went in there and saw the cartoon of that. But anyway, it's kind of a weird show. But anyhow, I don't know. I've changed since then. Now I think it's stupid. But anyway, so it was 4 theaters, and we asked the architect, can you turn those 4 theaters into one big church, like a worship center? And he worked on it, and he actually came up with a really amazing thing. And so we thought, but I'll be honest with you, when he first drew it, okay, this is, 10 years ago or better. When he first drew it, I thought, Lord, it seems like just a dream to even build something like that. Now keep in mind, we hadn't remodeled any of this. It was as ugly as a building across the parking lot. And nothing had happened other than good old church members scrubbing and cleaning and painting themselves. We'd never had a construction company do anything. And he drew that. So we said, well, it could be done, so we'll buy the building. And then the Lord spoke to Pastor, buy the building. Folks, don't give up on what God puts in front of you. Let this tabernacle be a testament. And then they came to us when we got this part all remodeled. They came to us and they said, well, if you want more chairs, because at that time they said it could only seat 1,200, and we'd grown quite a bit by then. He said, if you want it to be more, the ceiling's going to have to be higher. So at that point, the engineer just came and he said, you know what? Maybe it's just better if you tear it all down and start over. I thought, oh my goodness, that just seemed like crazy talk. Tear it down and start from the beginning. And then they started out, well, I said, how many millions of dollars will that be? Because, I had to work my faith up to things. You graduate in your faith. There was a day $1 million seemed like it could have been $1 zillion. And now I'm like, $1 million, God's got this, And so when he did it, well, they gave it to us. They originally said, well, it'll be about $10 million to do it. But that doesn't include any audio and video. Well, folks, we've knocked on the door of almost 20 million by the time this is done. And God has been faithful. God has been faithful. We are down. Come on, give God a great big hand. God is not a man that he should lie. He doesn't change his mind. Has he not spoken something? And he not done it, and he not acted upon it? Come on. If you've gone through something, you faced something, you went through a thing, you were faced with a mountain of faith, let this tabernacle be a trust that God will, come on, carry out his plan in your life. Let it be a testament to you that God is not a man that he gives up. So don't give up on God. If you're believing for something, don't give up on him. Trust him. Say, but Pastor Brenda, some things have happened I don't understand, I'm not clear about. Just let God work out those details. He'll talk to us. Sometimes it's not in the time frame we always want it, but he teaches us along the way. But one thing you have to know is that God is faithful. He is faithful to perform that which he has promised. So know that today. If you're struggling, let this tabernacle be a testament to you that when God says he'll do something, he's going to carry it out. Amen. Isn't that good?